Welcome to the Dog Project Podcast. I'm your host, Devin, and today we're diving deep into the real sacrifices that dog owners must make in order to raise a well mannered, well behaved dog who listens and chooses to do the right thing. We're going to challenge some of the common misconceptions and talk about what it really takes to tap into your dog's true potential, or what I like to call your dog's inner genius. So, if you've ever wondered why your dog isn't as well behaved as you would like, or if you're struggling to understand why your dog doesn't always listen, this episode is for you. So, let's get started. I want to talk about the reality of sacrifice, right? So, let's be real. Having a well behaved dog isn't just about taking them to a couple of obedience classes and hoping for the best. It really requires daily sacrifices. You need to exercise your dog, not just for their physical health, but to burn off excess energy that, if not properly channeled, will turn into destructive or potentially problematic behavior. This means you have to commit to spending time every day walking, playing, and engaging with your dog. It's not a one time deal, it's an ongoing process. I see a lot of the times, dogs channeling that excess energy that they have into bad behavior. So if you can take the time to work with your dog and channel that excess energy into something positive, you're going to get something positive in return. In addition to physical exercise, you need to practice obedience commands every single day. This is something that I see a lot of people skip out on that's really important. Repetition and consistency are key. This isn't just about making your dog sit or stay on command. It's about creating a habit of listening and following instructions. Even when there are distractions, your dog needs to learn that distractions aren't an excuse to ignore you. What your dog does every day is what they're going to do every single day. And if they're, making it a habit of engaging in inappropriate behavior and not listening to you, that's what you're going to see. Okay. And finally, you have to set boundaries and expectations and hold your dog accountable to those standards. No matter how tired you are, no matter what's going on in your life, your dog needs structure. Without it, their behavior will likely spiral out of control. This is something that we see time and time again. This might mean saying no when it's easier to say yes, or sticking to a routine when you'd rather take a break. These are the sacrifices you need to make if you want a dog that's well behaved and pleasant to be around. The second thing I would like to talk about are the common issues and the root causes, right? So, many dog owners struggle with the common issues like aggression, destructiveness, or general unruliness. But often these problems stem from a lack of leadership. Dogs are incredibly intelligent. They're not as dull and boring as some people might think. They crave they crave mental stimulation and thrive when they have a job to do or a task to complete. When these needs aren't met, they find their own ways to entertain themselves, which can lead to undesirable behavior like excessive barking, chewing, digging, kind of all the stuff that you really don't like. We even see this a lot of the times when dogs jump on people. One phrase I hear a lot is, "My dog is trained, but they're distracted." Here's the thing, you guys: distractions aren't a valid reason for your dog to ignore you. If your dog is truly trained, they should be able to focus and obey even when distractions are present. This is where the daily practice of obedience commands comes in. By continually reinforcing commands in various environments, you teach your dog that listening to you isn't optional, it's expected, no matter what's going on around them. And the best way for you to see progress with your obedience commands is start inside the home. How you live with your dog, how you engage with your dog on a daily basis inside the home is by far the most important. Okay, so when you're practicing your obedience commands at home, frequently in the house, in the yard, in the neighborhood, when you do decide to go out into public or you do decide to go do something as a family, you're actually able to take your dog now, because at home, you've been practicing, you've been creating a habit of following instructions and making the right decision. Okay. The third thing I would like to, touch on during this podcast is the rewards of sacrifice. A lot of people on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, they don't really talk about the sacrifices, like what it's actually going to take. So, what's the payoff for all this sacrifice? Imagine a dog that's calm, obedient, and well behaved. a dog that listens to what they're told and chooses to make the right decision. How much better would your life and your dog's life be? Really answer that question. When you commit to daily exercise, structured training, and consistent boundaries, you're setting your dog up for success. You're tapping into their inner genius and helping them channel their energy into positive behaviors. Your dog becomes more enjoyable to be around, less stressed, and more mentally balanced. You'll start to see fewer bad behaviors and more of the good ones you've been working toward. And that's something really important. I want to say that again. You'll start to see fewer bad behaviors and more of the good ones you've been working towards. You can't get something for nothing. There's always an exchange that has to happen. So the more work you put in, the harder you're working toward a goal, the more likely it's going to be that you're going to be successful with that goal. But if you're lazy and you don't make time, it's going to be difficult, if not impossible, to have an intelligent, well-behaved dog. Without the right leadership, a dog often becomes aggressive, destructive, or even dangerous. But with the right effort, you'll not only have a dog that listens, but one that makes your life better in countless ways. So I want you to ask yourself, are you willing to make the necessary sacrifices to have the best dog you've ever had? The choice is yours, and the rewards can be incredible. Anyways, guys, I just wanted to say thank you for tuning in to this episode of the Dog Project Podcast. Remember, the journey to having a well-behaved dog is all about consistency. It's all about effort, and yes, it does require sacrifice. But in the end, it's all worth it. If you found this episode helpful, make sure to subscribe and don't forget to share it with a fellow dog owner who might benefit from hearing it. Until next time, keep working with your dog and see just how amazing they can truly be. All right, guys, thanks.